Okay, we have here John 6:64. And it says, well, first in Greek, alla estin ex humon tenes hoi ou pista usin. And the translation is but, and that's a strong adversative, not the weaker de that could also be and or now, but this is going to be, a stronger sense of on the contrary. There are some out of you who do not believe. And what do we need to notice? Well, first of all, I noticed that somebody here thought that this word was six, and that's a good guess. Well, actually, I'm kind of encouraged by that mistake because it shows that you're paying attention. But if we were to, look more closely, we know that this is a smooth breathing mark, and the word for six has a rough breathing mark and an accent. So you got the wrong word there. But I'm encouraged that you're actually thinking about the vocabulary, so that's a good sign. And you're obviously not just copying this translation from something else. So don't be discouraged by that. But it is a good opportunity to stress that while the accents are important some of the time, the breathing marks are important. That's the breathing mark there, are important most of the time. So by default, you could not pay a whole lot of attention to the accents unless I tell you or the book tells you that you really need to pay attention to the accents, as in the difference between the indefinite pronoun and the interrogative pronoun, right? That's where the accent is going to make the big difference. But generally, the accents aren't going to determine that much. However, the breathing marks, on the other hand, they're going to determine a lot more. So by default, learn the breathing marks. And you will see that this word is not six, but it's really the preposition ek. But why isn't it ek? Well, it's because it comes right before a vowel, and then it changes to x. Okay, so how did we get this translation to? We have estin is, we don't have a clear subject, but we can be implied in estin, so it's something like there are some out of you. And this is nominative, even though it's in the predicate position, because remember, with the verb of being, we can sometimes have a nominative as the subject and a nominative in the predicate, because the verb of being is kind of like an equal sign. This is this, and both would be in the nominative. And then we have the relative pronoun, who. It's the relative pronoun because there is both the accent, make that bigger for you, both the accent and the rough breathing mark. Remember, if it was an article, you would only have the rough breathing mark, but in fact we have both, and so we know it as a relative pronoun, nominative plural, who do not believe.